Hello, everyone, and welcome to the presentation about regarding disaster recovery planning, or DRP for short. I'm going to be walking you through the beginning part of the introduction, and we'll go through it. We have Haley, Renee, Jaquez, and myself, Mina, who basically will be presenting this presentation today. So, what is a disaster recovery plan? Just to go through it, a disaster recovery plan, or like I said, DRP for short, is a documented and structured approach about describing how an organization would quickly resume operations when something happens, whether it's environmental or because a power went out or whatever it may be. Mainly, it focuses on restoring any IT systems, any applications and data after any disruption that happens. It also helps minimize any downtime and data loss, as well as supporting the continuation of critical business functions. DRPs technically include any kind of risk assessment and potential disaster scenarios, any recovery time objectives, which are called RTOs for short, and also recovery point objectives, or RPOs. We will have also a step-by-step procedures on what to do when a disaster happens for the recovery plan, as well as how to coordinate with our business continuity plan, which helps bring up everything back into business. If we go to the next slide here, why is DRP and any kind of security policies are essential? Mainly, they ensure the business continues. There's not disrupted for any long period of time, so there's no any loss of funds. As the next point says, minimize downtime, minimize data loss, as well as any financial impact. This also helps protect critical assets and operations from cyber threats, as well as natural disasters that could occur and any kind of system failures in the future. This will also help provide a structured response, which would help any incident that will come up, so we can have clear defined roles and procedures to avoid any additional downtime. This will also enhance the organizational resilience through preparedness and planning. This just basically helps us be prepared in case of any disaster. Mother Nature is very fickle. She will do what she wants. So this presentation itself will cover a couple of main things. The main important ones are risk assessment, so we can identify any problems and threat during the evaluation process. Recovery strategy, so it helps us give us action plans for restoring any critical systems and operations. Incident response, which is a step-by-step process to detect, contain, and recover any cyber incidents. The BCP integration, which ensures the DRP aligns with the borders of the business continuity goals, and CISSP or NIST alignment. This demonstrates compliance with the industry standard frameworks as well as best practices. So I'll hand this off to whoever's next. I think it's Haley.
Yes. So the risk assessment portion is what we're going to be discussing next as a part of our disaster recovery plan, specifically how we identify potential disasters, assess their likelihood and impact, and use this information to prioritize our response and recovery strategies. The purpose of this risk assessment is to identify potential threats that could disrupt critical business operations, and then we'll evaluate how likely each threat is to occur and how much damage it could cause. This process allows us to make smart, informed decisions about how to mitigate those risks and allocate resources effectively. Importantly, this approach aligns with the CISSP standards, particularly within the security and risk management and business continuity and disaster recovery planning domains. So there are four main categories of disasters that we need to be prepared for. The first one is environmental disasters, such as tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, etc. They're often location dependent, but they can be highly destructive. The second one is man-made disasters, which include terrorist attacks, sabotage, war, theft, cybercrimes, and human-caused data loss. These threats are often unpredictable, but they can greatly impact data and operations. The third one is equipment or system failures, like internal power outages, air conditioning issues, and hardware breakdowns. These could seem minor, but they do cause major disruptions, especially in data centers. And then the fourth one is IT failures and security breaches, which include unauthorized access, disclosure of sensitive information, and full-on IT system failures. The risk assessment is based on a structured four-part framework, so threat identification, vulnerability assessment, impact analysis, and then risk rating, which is likelihood times impact. We also classify risk into four levels, so we have low, medium, high, and then critical. By aligning each threat with a level, we can make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. And this structured classification also mirrors the CISSP's emphasis on risk categorization, which is essential for effective disaster recovery planning and compliance. The next discussion phase will focus on the process for reporting and documenting security incident policies. So the purpose of the security incident response process is to ensure that when something goes wrong, like a breach or a system compromise, we have a standardized way to detect, report, contain, and then recover from it. And this can help minimize damage and restore operations quickly. Some of the most common security incidences that we have prepared for include unauthorized system or data access, malware and ransomware, data breaches and leaks, DOS attacks, insider threats, theft or loss of devices, and then system or application compromises. These are the kinds of events that, if not managed well, can have serious legal, financial, and reputational consequences. The reporting process for this that has been established step by step is detection, initial reporting, log entry, classification, and then escalation. Finally, documentation is key according to the CISSP standards. We must thoroughly document every phase of an incident, and these incidents can include when and how it was detected, who reported it, what systems were affected, what actions were taken to contain and fix it, what we learned, and what evidence was collected. This documentation not only helps with audits and compliance, but it also improves our future disaster recovery planning. Learning from past incidents is how we can grow stronger.
I did recovery actions for key systems and business processes. Document recovery procedures clearly outline step-by-step actions to restore key system and business process after disruption. Restore IT infrastructure, prioritize recovery of essential hardware, network connections, and servers needed to support operations. Recovery data from backups, retrieve and validate backup data to restore critical databases, applications, and user files. Reestablish business operations, resume core business functions like customer service, payroll, inventory management, etc. In order of critical. Verify system integrity. Always test system and applications post-recovery to ensure full functionality and data accuracy. Coordinate with vendors and partners. Engage with third-party providers to, as needed, for software, equipment, or service restoration. Document post-recovery findings. Record what actions were taken, issues encountered, and lessons learned to improve for future responses. And security policy summary. Ensure systems are securely configured and regularly updated. Apply security baseline. Use industry standards like CIS and NIST to configure systems securely. Disable unused features, turn off unnecessary ports, services, and applications to reduce vulnerabilities, enforce access controls, implement strong passwords, policies, and multi-factor authentication, regularly patch systems, keep software operating systems and firmware updated with the latest security patches, use configuration management tools, automate enforce of secure settings across all systems, perform routine audits, regularly view systems configurations to ensure compliance and detect unauthorized changes, maintain change documentation, track configuration, update, and review for accuracy and security impact. And what I have learned, it's become clear to me how important it is for businesses to have good disaster recovery plan, DRP, in case something bad happens. A plan helps ensure that the most critical systems and processes can be back online as soon as possible after an attack, system failure, or even a natural disaster. Being ready is more important than just reacting. That means making a list of the most critical systems, setting reasonable goals for recovery times, and making sure everyone knows what to do when something goes wrong. Also learn how important it is to have some strong security policies and plan for disasters. It's not just about defense to keep systems up to date and securely configured. It's also about making recovery easier and more reliable. If systems are adequately protected and maintained, the damage will be less likely to be severe and recovery will go more smoothly. The best ways to protect the business and keep things moving forward when problems arise are to plan, stay safe, and be ready to act.
Hello, everyone. Today I'll be giving you a short overview of our incident response and access control and how we will maintain the integrity of the company. We will walk through. Okay, well, let's start with incident response lifecycle, which contains 4 phases: detection, containment, eradication, and recovery. In the detection phase, we will use automated alerts and regular audits to identify threats early. We will monitor network traffic, system logs, and any unusual behaviors that gives us a heads up of what we need to respond to quickly. Once the threat is detected, we'll move into the containment phase. Once we isolate affected systems, disable any compromised accounts, and apply network segmentation and firewall rules to prevent the threat from spreading, from there we will shift into eradication, removing malware, patching vulnerabilities, and running forensic analysis and pinpoint the root cause. After the threat is removed, it's time to recover. We will restore from clean backups, validate systems integrity, and backup services back online, bring services back online in a controlled, safe way. We will also conduct a post-incident review to document any lessons learned to improve our processes. And importantly, we will make sure all of our ties into the business continuity plan. That means clearly define roles aligned with recovery goals and regularly tabletop exercises to stay ready. And go to the next slide. Thank you. Now, no response plan is complete without control of who has access right in the first place. First, we will use the identity verification using multi-factor authentication, things like biometric tokens, and passwords. We will adjust these methods based on ongoing risk assessments. We also enforce the principle of least privilege. That means role-based access control to ensure users only have access to things they need, nothing more, nothing less. We regularly audit and adjust permissions to stay on top of it. And for the authorization, we centralize access using tools like Active Directory or IMA platforms. We log access attempts, monitor for any unusual behavior, and require reauthorization for sensitive or high-risk access.
All right, thank you. All right, hey Mina, is this a slide that you're covering?
I am not sure. Is it one of my slides? I think this is slide 12.
Yeah, just 12.
Yeah, I thought it was. Am I 12 to 17? I'm sorry, I didn't know I was from this here on. But I'll go ahead and cover this part then. I'll continue moving forward here. So
Okay.
this is the recovery strategies for each system and process that we have available. So for the main one that we have to start off with is the one for finance and HR, or the ERP process and system. Normally this is restored from the cloud backup in a secondary data server, just in case if anything happens to the primary. Normally for RTO, it's about roughly 6 hours. For RPO, it's almost 12. The next priority is email and communication. The failover is to host it to Exchange for Outlook 365 or VI, voice over IP provider, or VoIP. Normally it would take about roughly 2 hours, almost like if anything, but it takes normally less, near to zero. When it comes to the file storage, we reconnect to a replicated NAS/cloud storage. Could take it from RTO being 4 hours to the RPO being up to 24. And then for the customer database, we need to restore the database snapshot, verify the integrity, sync any logs that are currently there. Both RTO and RPO are roughly the same. It's roughly about 8 hours. So for the integration with the BCP, basically how the DRP supports the BCP aligns with the IT recovery priorities, which is basically any kind of mission, essential business functions, getting everything started back up. We share communication plans, emergency contacts, and key responsibilities for both departments, as well as prompt cross-functional collaboration for both IT, legal, HR, and facilities. To always and also do continuous improvements to use the BCP testing results to refine our DRP procedures, as well as to conduct joint exercises, both tabletop and full simulations with both parties for both DRP and BCP. And we have to sync the RTO/RPO updates with evolving business needs. The outcome of all of this is basically a very cohesive strategy that maintains operations, reduce downtime, and protect the organization's reputation and also the customers and pretty much all the information that is on our servers. So the CISSP domains and principal alignments here, this is just relevant things for the CISSP domains. Mainly for security risk and management, we focus on identifying, assessing, and also mitigating any risks for our critical systems. This also is additionally for any security operations. This emphasizes incident responses, monitoring, and recovery procedures, so it covers all the bases, as well as when it comes to the business continuity and disaster recovery planning. This ensures DRP supports resilience as well as quick recovery for the business operations, so nothing's down for too long. Key principles here for DRP is that availability, keeping the systems up and data accessible during disruptions is one of the top things. It also ensures integrity, which ensures the data remain accurate and uncorrupted during recovery. Least privilege, limiting access to recovery tools and data to only essential personnel, as well as defense in depth. This is which is basically a layered strategy to help like backups, failover systems, and containment, just to make sure even with the downtime there was not any security risk or any breaches. This matters, and the question you would ask is why this matters. It matters because anything aligns with CISSP ensures that the DRP will follow industry best practices. It enhances security protocols and supports any certification and compliance goals, making it easier to integrate more new people in to help with the process and make it smooth when it comes down to it. So next, we're going to be covering I'm going to be covering the NIST, the SP 834 alignment. So just to start off with it, what is NIST SP 834? It's a federal guided title, contingency planning guided for federal information systems. This is published by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST for short. This provides a standardized framework for developing effective disaster recovery plans and contingency plans just in case if anything happens. How this aligns with the NIST SP 834. It's a structured planning process, helps everything get structured, organized, and easy to figure out so no one gets lost in the process. It helps with the risk assessments. It gives us a system we need to prioritize and define recovery procedures followed by the NIST step-by-step model. This also helps define the RTO and RPO planning and the timeframes. This also clearly outlines recovery time and recovery output objectives for each key system. Includes annual full test, quarterly tabletop exercises as recommended by NIST standard. Gives us all team roles and governance, as well as assigns responsibilities across the infrastructure, security, and business units as outlined in NIST planning model. Basically, just covers every base possible, including both business and IT. This matters because it ensures disaster recovery efforts are compliant, consistent, and effective with both business needs and also security needs. This also helps build trust with stakeholders, so we do not lose any money regarding this, and demonstrates commitment to the federal government to provide the best service possible and the best practice possible. With this is so this the last part here is the cohesive DRP security policies, which covers why the cohesion of everything between the plan as well as the security needs. The integration of DRP and security policies, it basically DRP is fully aligned with the security policy, so it makes sense that they're both connected hand in hand and consistent during handling of any downtime, as well as both are rooted in CISSP principles and NIST as well. It follows both standards, so we're not veering off of anything and we're following the normal procedures for the frameworks. This also, the security policies implements elements that support DRP. It's access control, ensures only authorized personnel can access recovery tools and data. Incident response outlines containment, communication, and escalation procedures. Data management, policies on encryption, backup frequency, and secure storage. It also gives us unified objectives, which protect systems, data, operations during any disruptions, promote resilience, compliance through shared goals, and enables rapid fire recovery with predefined, well-tested protocols, so we don't have to mess anything and everything gets followed perfectly. Conclusion here, a lot of things is very simple. DRP is critical. It is necessary for both business and for both frameworks itself. It's been tested, updated, aligned with all organizational goals, both federally and for businesses. It's an effective method of involving DRP and cross-team collaboration for risk assessments, recovery timelines, as well as ongoing training. And it also, CISSP domains and NIST SP 834 provide the gold standard framework to build a reliable, secure recovery system. The final thought on this, in my opinion, is by integrating these policies, basically continuous both business and security needs for the company as a whole, it will give us a very nice strategy, a cohesive one that will let the organization stay strong and secure, no matter whatever comes our way, whether it's Mother Nature or even if it's man-made problems like security breaches. This gives us an edge on whatever happens, and it gives us additional tools that we can follow. If you ever need any of the references or even see any of these plans, we have our reference sheets here. You can just follow the links down below. And thank you for coming to our presentation.